Top 10 Isekai anime with an overpowered main character. One of the most interesting things about a good anime is following the journey of a main character who has to obtain power in order to defeat an opponent. And in many cases, this character ends up surpassing their opponent and becomes much more powerful than anyone in the show. If you are a fan of anime and you are looking for that anime with an overpowered main character that can take down anyone, anytime, then this video is for you. Here are my top 10 list of Isekai anime where the main character is strong and motivated to do anything in his power without getting help from anyone. Hit that subscribe button as hard as you can. And let's begin the Isekai journey. Number 10. Kemono Michi Rise Up. Konosuba's author has done it again. Kemono Michi has had the awesome idea of putting a wrestler in a fantasy world where he can show off his skills and love for animals. During the bout for the title of the world champion against his greatest rival, the macadamian ogre, Genzu is suddenly summoned to a fantasy world by a princess. With her kingdom being threatened by a monster infestation, she pleads the wrestler for assistance, to which he answers by knocking her out with a German suplex. Escaping the castle and finding himself stranded in a mysterious land, Genzu decides to begin his career as a beast hunter to capture and befriend creatures far and wide. Joined by the wolf girl Shigure, the dragon girl Hanaku, and the vampire Carmilla Vanstein, the professional wrestler pursues all kinds of dangerous requests for the sake of fulfilling his dream as a pet shop owner. Number 9. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be an anime character? To enter a fantasy world with magic and mystery, adventure and opportunity. After many years of being a corporate slave, Azusa Aizawa abruptly passes away due to severe exhaustion. Seemingly headed for the afterlife, she meets a goddess who bestows her with immortality alongside a peaceful life in another world. There, Azusa enjoys her days tending to her farm, protecting the nearby village, and killing about 25 slimes per day, a routine that continues for at least 3 centuries. However, this rather monotonous cycle begins to change when Azusa suddenly finds out that she has reached level 99, the maximum possible level, from slimes alone. Despite desperately trying to hide this fact in fear of ending her slow life, rumors of her strength spread nevertheless. Soon enough, various people throughout the continent, like the dragon Laika and the elf Helkara, start to appear at her doorstep. Some seeking a battle, others asking for her assistance. Meeting friends and acquaintances who soon become family, Azusa finds she can live a life far better with others than when she was alone. Okay, 8. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Ichiro Suzuki, a programmer nearing his 30s, is drowning in work. Worn out, he eventually has a chance to catch up on sleep, only to wake up and discover himself in a fantasy RPG world, which is mashed together from the games he was debugging in reality. In this new place, he realizes that not only has his appearance changed to a younger version of himself, but his name has also changed to Sato, a nickname he used while running beta tests on games. However, before Sato can fully grasp his situation, an army of lizardmen launch an assault on him. Forced to cast a powerful spell in retaliation, Sato wipes them out completely and his level is boosted to 310, effectively maximizing his stats. Now, as a high-leveled adventurer, armed with a plethora of skills and no way to return to reality, Sato sets out to explore this magical new world. Number 7. High school prodigies have it easy even in another world. 7 Japanese high school students enjoy international renown for their remarkable talents. One day, these friends survive a plane crash only to find themselves in a medieval fantasy world of Freyjagard, where 2 human races live side by side in a feudal society. The Byuma, who have animal features and formidable strength, and Hyuma, who have a small chance of magical aptitude. After being rescued by the Byuma, Venona and her adopted elven daughter Lyrule, the group pledges to use their advanced skills and knowledge to pay back the people of Elm Village for their hospitality and find a way to return back home. Believing there is a connection between their current situation and an ancient legend about 7 heroes from another world who defeated an evil dragon, Tsukasa directs the others to learn about the culture around them and search for any clues leading them back to Earth. But he also gives another instruction to take it nice and easy, lest they ruin this world by giving it their all. Number 6. Isekai Cheat Magician. Regular high schooler Taichi Nishimura and his childhood friend Rin Azuma are on their way to school one ordinary morning. Suddenly, a glowing light envelops them, transporting them to a fantasy world full of magical creatures. Upon their arrival, Taichi and Rin are threatened by a beast. They are promptly saved by a group of adventurers who advise the pair that traveling unarmed and inexperienced makes them vulnerable to the recently increasing monster attacks. Taichi and Rin are directed to the guild, where they can determine their magical aptitude and register as adventurers. However, the test they take reveals an unprecedented result. Taichi and Rin possess extraordinary powers that far surpass the standard mage, instantly transforming them from typical high school students to the ultimate cheat magicians. Taichi and Rin learn to grasp the full extent of their powers and familiarize themselves with the new world. However, while the duo seeks to uncover the reason behind their transportation and a possible way back to their original world, unexpected trouble lurks in the shadow. Number 5. Arifureta From Commonplace to World's Strongest. The ordinary life of 17-year-old Otaku Hajime Nagumo is disrupted when he and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world and tasked with saving mankind. While his classmates are gifted with impressive abilities useful in combat, Hajime is belittled for only gaining an inferior transmutation skill that lacks any real offensive power. During an expedition in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates, plummeting him to the bottom of an abyss. Though he survives the fall, Hajime is faced with menacing monsters and misfortunes that send him spiraling into a grim nightmare. Desperate to live and return home one day, he resolves to fight for his survival, only to meet an imprisoned vampire he names Yue, who is also seeking to escape the labyrinth. Taking an interest in him, Yue and a few others along the way accompany Hajime on his journey to find a way back home, while steadily transforming from commonplace to the world's strongest. Number 4. So I'm a spider, so what? The day is as normal as it can be in high school, as the students peacefully go about their everyday activities until an unprecedented catastrophe strikes the school, killing every person in its wake. Guided by what seems to be a miracle, a handful of students are fortunate enough to be reincarnated into another world as nobles, princes, and other kinds of people with prestigious backgrounds. One girl, however, is not so lucky. Being reborn as a spider of the weakest kind, she immediately experiences the hardships of her dire situation. Even so, she must press on to survive the numerous threats that endanger her life. Discovering that her new world has a system like that of an RPG, she tries her best to hunt prey and defeat monsters to level up and evolve. As she gradually grows stronger, she hopes one day her efforts will be rewarded, and that she will be granted a better life. Number 3. Welcome to Demon School. Iruma-kun. 14-year-old Iruma Suzuki has been unfortunate all his life, having to work to earn money for his irresponsible parents despite being underage. One day, he finds out that his parents sold him to the demon Sullivan. However, Iruma's worries about what will become of him are soon relieved, for Sullivan merely wants a grandchild, pampering him and making him attend the demon school Babels. At first, Iruma tries to keep a low profile in fear of his peers discovering that he is a human. Unfortunately, this ends up being more difficult than he expected. It turns out that Sullivan himself is the chairman of the school, and everyone accepts him to become the next Demon King. Iruma immediately finds himself in an outrageous situation when he has to chant a forbidden spell in front of the entire school. With this, Iruma instantly earns a reputation he does not want. Even so, he is bound to be roped into more bizarre circumstances. Number 2. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. A 34-year-old NEET loses his life saving a stranger in a traffic accident, only to wake up to find himself reborn as the baby Rudius Greyrat in a new world filled with magic. The child of the adventurers, Paul and Zenith Greyrat, his innate talent for magic is immediately recognized when he turns 2, and the magic tutor Roxy Migurdia is brought to his home to refine him into a mage. With a tremendous amount of magical power and a wealth of knowledge from his original world, Rudius seeks to fulfill his only desires for his previous life, to not repeat the mistakes of his past and die with no regrets. Number 1. That time, I got reincarnated as a slime. 37-year-old Satoru Mikami is a typical corporate worker who is perfectly content with his monotonous lifestyle in Tokyo. Other than failing to nail down a girlfriend even once throughout his life, in the midst of a casual encounter with his colleagues, he falls victim to a random assailant on the streets and is stabbed. However, while succumbing in his injuries, a peculiar voice echoes in his mind and recites a bunch of commands which the dying man cannot make sense of. When Satoru regains consciousness, he discovers that he has reincarnated as a goop of slime in an unfamiliar realm. In doing so, he acquires newfound skills, notably the power to devour anything and mimic its appearance and abilities. He then stumbles upon the sealed catastrophe-level monster, Storm Dragon, Veldora, who had been sealed away for the past 300 years for devastating a town to ashes. Sympathetic to his predicament, Satoru befriends him, promising to assist in destroying the seal. In return, Veldora bestows upon him the name Rimuru, Tempest, to grant him divine protection. Now liberated from the mundanities of his past life, Rimuru embarks on a fresh journey with a distinct goal in mind. As he grows accustomed to his new physique, his gooey antiques ripple throughout the world, gradually altering his fate. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make a comment below which ones you have seen. Do share your experience. Don't forget to like the video. Do press the bell icon to get notified about the latest videos and news trends. Till then, take care and stay safe.